Connor, a former firefighter, was reported missing when he was working in the woods in Fargo, Georgia. A local mother is pleading for help, hoping someone can tell her what happened to her son.
I'm concerned that I may never see him again.
Welcome back to The Last Southerners on the Left Frozen Files edition. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe so as not to miss out on our future cases. Today's case comes from the small town of Fargo, Georgia, with a population of only 316 people. This case, in our opinion, hasn't received the attention it deserved.
It's a remarkable story of Jacob Connor, someone who seemed young, happy, and described by his friends as someone who was always laughing and fun to be around. Jacob was working at his father's timber company, and while on a tractor, apparently out of the blue went missing. The tractor was found turned over, and Jacob apparently was nowhere near it, or at least they thought at that time. Foul play was immediately suspected. Jalen will now read an article from the Waycross Journal-Herald explaining the circumstances.
Article titled, Foul Play Assumed in Missing Man Case. Jacob Connor was reported to be missing from his residence on Plumb Bush Road at around 5 p.m. Wednesday, and lawmen are investigating under the assumption that foul play has occurred, a spokesman for the Clinch County Sheriff's Department said. The family reported it at about 5 p.m., but they had started searching for him around 2 p.m. Wednesday after they realized he was missing, said the spokesman. Agents with the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, troopers from the Georgia State Patrol, and Clinch County Sheriff's Department deputies searched all day Thursday around Fargo, but could find no sign of him. They are back out there this morning, the spokesman said. It's an area down a dirt road in the Colon community not far from Fargo.
The circumstances on this particular case were always suspicious, as from what we could tell, there were not any reasons that stuck out right away as to why someone would want to harm Jacob. And from a 2017 WCTV News report, we noticed something unusual quoted in the article. Jalen will now read that quote.
Authorities say in the days leading up to his disappearance, he may have had personal issues, but did not specify what the issues were.
Now that struck us as unusual because seldom ever is anything like that comment released on an open investigation. It almost implies that Jacob would have considered harming himself.
This does not coincide at all with the information we were able to obtain from people that knew him. From what we gathered, Jacob had just had a newborn daughter and was in a healthy relationship. He had not long moved to Fargo to work for his father's timber company, but things seem to have been going well.
Back to the day of the disappearance and some things that stuck out for us. Apparently, the day of the disappearance, he was working with a small crew from the mother's account. The boys realized Jake had went a different way and lost track of his tractor.
The boys realized Jake had went a certain way and they lost sight of his tractor.
His coworkers say they found his tractor tipped over, but no sign of Jacob. He left behind his cell phone, wallet, and keys. His truck was parked nearby.
Then, allegedly, Jacob's coworkers found his tractor tipped over, but no sign of him. Jacob had left behind his cell phone, wallet, and keys.
This is a lot to unpack, but there are several things that are suspicious in that statement. For starters, if Jacob would have walked off, he would not have left his belongings. Second, if the tractor was turned over, then one would assume that Jacob's body would have been near the tractor. Neither of these things made any sense to what could have happened to Jacob, so it brings into question that they could have concocted this story to cover up what happened to Jacob.
Lastly, there was this statement by the mother in an interview with WRBL3 News.
I just know in my heart of hearts, because of what he was telling me was going on, that someone has taken my son from me, says Donna Connor White. So that immediately makes us question what Jacob was telling her and what was going on. We only hope that if we have those questions, then law enforcement most certainly should have as well.
So while initial searches didn't reveal anything, almost a year later, on New Year's Day, remains were ultimately found near the place Jacob was reportedly last seen. It took a little while for the DNA to be matched, but it was confirmed on October 9, 2017 by the Georgia Bureau of Investigation's Agent Mark Pro.
At that time, and we believe still to date, the GBI or any other law enforcement agency has not made any public comment on Jacob's disappearance.
From checking sources that wish to remain anonymous, we've heard a theory put forth that Jacob's co-worker, or possibly two of them, have been involved, and presumably acted to cover this up. Now, while this is just a theory, it seems to be the talk of the small town, and given the information that is public, it does seem very plausible.
We did speak with his girlfriend at the time of his disappearance, and she said that Jake was an amazing boyfriend, father, son, and friend, and he is truly loved and missed.
So if you have any information on the circumstances surrounding the disappearance of Jacob, then please contact us, the family, or law enforcement as to provide his family and friends with some much needed answers.
Until next time, thank you for listening, and please stay tuned for more Frozen Files from the Last Southerners on the Left.
See you next time.